Hello, I am high on painkillers because of my health, and I'd like to talk to you about the Senate Intelligence Committee report on the CIA detention and interrogation program. And I'd like to begin by dropping some info people may be missing if they watch the John Oliver HBO spot. Oliver's video on torture has over 5 million views, and is, as far as I'm aware, the most well-known video discussing the document. However, some information isn't in it. The shown version is a hard copy from Amazon.com. Fortunately, though, 6 months beforehand, a free PDF version was released on the Senate Intelligence website, another on the feinstein.senate.gov page. Additionally, if the 500-page executive summary is too much to read, there's a 19-page findings and conclusions PDF, and is effectively a summary of the summary. And if that's still too much work, there's about a 4-page long Cliff Notes summary of the summary of the summary below the download links on Senator Feinstein's resource page. Links to all of these are in the description box below this video, so if you would like the summary of the summary, or the summary of the summary of the summary, all are available for download from the description box below this video, free of charge. You don't need to pay anything to obtain these documents. There's also other resources available on the pages linked below to supplement the executive summary, and also about 6 months before Oliver's video, the CIA released a reply document in which they can test some, but not all, of the framing and findings done by the SSCI study. It's 136 pages long, and is, again, linked in the description box below this video for you, and is also free of charge. You do not need to purchase the information. Now that it's clear the information is available for free and partially simplified if needed, let's begin. I had originally planned to make one review of the SSCI study, but there was too much to go over. If you would like to read just one side of the argument and exclude the study in favor of only reading the CIA reply, or vice versa, only read the summary and avoid the CIA reply, I would implore you to at least not withhold the information on the counterpart's existence or where they can be obtained when you retellitize your conclusions to others. I would encourage you, if you're going to read either document, try to read both, come to your own conclusion, and not allow one narrative to do your thinking and decide your opinion for you. I have some experience regarding these subjects, and there seems to be a lack of clarity regarding these issues, so perhaps a couple videos on intelligence agency operations could be helpful in providing a clearer picture. So let's start with something simple: Blacksites and medicine. One of the points in the study is that the CIA was unprepared to actually manage their program. Though the severity of these issues is of some contest, the CIA doesn't dispute the overarching point, so I think it's fair we start here. Management shortcomings are discussed, but focus is given to their connection to prisoner mismanagement and abuse. And it seems to me problems aren't given much attention in the study where they wouldn't at first glance connect back to making a better abuse case. Some important criticisms of the program and recommendable reforms are kind of pushed off to the side. For example, the study cites insufficient medical care which escalated into an incident where the CIA was in possession of a subject in need of treatment and tensions arising over an attempt to move the subject into a local hospital. Issues from inadequate care eventually resulted in the closing of Site Violet. Similarly, there was unsuccessful attempts to organize treatment from a nearby hospital during another site's construction, which later became an abandoned facility, implied as a result of ongoing medical inadequacy. This is on pages 154 to 156. It's only given a small amount of attention, but it indicates a larger issue in need of improvement. It is my opinion that a detention site should, as a standard, have an on-site infirmary capable of providing medical treatment both to staff and prepared to treat detainees if necessary, and I'll explain my reasoning. Suppose, for example, a facility is built in Brazil. There are numerous reasons to build facilities offshore. Maybe there's a treaty. Maybe it's just a Brazilian facility with no affiliation to the United States at all. Whatever, it doesn't matter. For the purpose of example, let's say, for some reason, a detention center is being built in Brazil. Brazil, like any location, has natural environment hazards, such as the Brazilian wandering spider, common in South America. Venom from the Brazilian wandering spider is lethal to humans but treatable, and with medical response to a bite, you'll probably survive. So if a facility is located in certain areas of South America or Central America, it should be equipped to deal with the local flora and fauna environmental hazards that exist in the region. This includes having an infirmary on site appropriately stocked with anti-venom, prepared to deal with said hazards, in the event someone on site needs treatment. Because the detention center is not free of typical problems any normal prison might encounter, there's a need for on-site medical. Suppose, for example, a random guard is bitten by a dangerous spider, or there's an accident moving in some boxes of canned food, and a contractor breaks one of his legs. Completely mundane risks are still liable to occur at a facility. Even if the goings-on at the facility are supposed to be kept quiet, these risks still exist. The information presented in the report tells us more than what is explicitly stated. It's stated that there was a need to move someone to a local hospital for treatment. It's stated there was an issue involving attempts to arrange access to a site's nearest hospital. At face value, if you're looking to walk away with a sense of morality because you disapprove of bad medical treatment for detainees, you may walk away from reading these cases with the knowledge prisoner medical needs were not adequately met. But what these cases tell us is something more impactful and important from a reform and operational efficiency standpoint. It tells us the detention center did not have an on-site infirmary, or at least not one of the necessary quality, because these issues should not have arisen in the first place. It should not have been necessary for the CIA to struggle with negotiating treatment from the nearest hospital. The situation should not have arisen, because that comes with certain risks that at least I personally would consider unreasonable, not only to the detainees, but to the staff on site, and security risks if you have to transfer them to a hospital located elsewhere and have some local doctor treat a detainee, as well as lower quality care that comes from those kind of time delays. Suppose a random guard suffers a heart attack and the nearest treatment is an hour's drive away. Completely regardless of torture, there are still mundane, everyday risks the prisoners and staff will face. This also implies the CIA had difficulty establishing on-site care and/or viewing on-site medical as a valid option. Perhaps this was a funding issue. Perhaps they didn't feel they could get the necessary medical staff that were trustworthy enough for some reason, so perhaps it was in part a manpower recruitment issue. Perhaps what's necessary is intelligence agencies need some funding and ability to recruit and train for certain roles better at home to address skill set deficiency problems. Or perhaps it was another issue entirely, or more likely a combination of several. You may not know exactly why, but with this information, you're better informed about what direction to go in if you want to improve things and establish realistic sets of expectations. Anyway, if people found this video helpful, perhaps I'll make a few more. Thank you for watching. Insert end of video pandering here, blah blah Patreon, and I'll see you next time.